Okay, so the timing actually doesn't start until later, so I'm gonna go ahead and set that up. Is the name still gonna be Keith?
Alright, let me take one final refresh and see if that file name is still the same. Yes, Keith is the winner of that bid war with $320. Iwata, good effort, guys, but came in close second at $222.
Luckily, we also have a Digimon name, so I can use the water for the Digimon name.
Based. Nice.
There we go. That's the spirit.
Yeah, it takes a timing starts a little bit later still.
The timing will start like when I hit X on the first text box. So. Want me to just count it off? Okay. 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, so this is Digimon World. Best way to describe it is a babysitting simulator plus cockfighting. So, basically it's based off originally Digimon Tamagotchis. And basically the story to this is every Digimon that used to be in this city ended up like roaming off for whatever reason, they don't really know. And you have to go and try to get them back. And so basically you can get 100 prosperity points in this game, and to actually beat the game you need to get 50 of them. So we're trying to try to get the 50 fastest, obviously. And so, like, the strongest Digimon in the game, the Ultimates, give you 3. Second strongest champions give you 2. And the rookies give you 1. And so I'm going to let K-Arts take over for now and describe what we're doing at the beginning here.
All right. Just as a roll call, my name is K-Hearts. I'm also a runner of the game.
I'm Orsa. I kind of run the game.
I'm Shining Dragoon, and I don't run the game, but I know a lot about it.
Yeah.
So the first thing that we actually do in this run is literally RNG manipulation. So as you start the console, continue with the game, the console will provide you an RNG seed, and this will give you basically random numbers that will allow for specific events to occur. And this RNG table will advance through different animations or other specific events that you might do. So the first thing that Azure is trying to do is make sure that his steps are very precise and that his feeding is also pretty precise, and any other events that he does before the Agumon fight is pretty precise. And this all leads up to the Agumon fight, which is supposed to be the fastest Agumon fight and will ultimately also lead up to an autopilot, which will come a couple of minutes later as well. Some things that you'll also see here may not be very apparent. As he's doing the training, he cancels with the triangle button, makes it a little bit faster. Once again, he's using his placement to be very precise, and this will pretty much manipulate Agumon's animation as he walks towards the player. He just wants to make sure that everything's precise up to the Agumon fight, so it will be what we call the correct or the good Agumon fight.
And yes, Digimon poop.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, so we should know if I'm on the right RNG right now. If not, it's only about like a minute loss, so we can still keep going. But we got the right fight.
Blackwind will be proud.
And if you don't know, Blackwind is the world record holder of this game right now. He was set to be an ESA, but he had conflictions with that.
One thing during the fight Azure just did was rearrange some of the items in his inventory. This will be pretty important later on as he does the first shopping menu, where he sells some items which is fastest to do in a certain order in his inventory.
It also makes it so I can pull up the autopilot pretty fast.
And when you deal with these Digimon, you get your prosperity points of one or two ways. You either defeat the Digimon and they run off to your town, or you do some task, or they just say, hey, I'll go, with no fight whatsoever.
Yeah. So sometimes you're a bully, sometimes you're not. Sometimes you just beat them up.
Then I think you're cool.
So along the way, as he's going to the maze to pick up the autopilot, one of the things if he can check on to see if he's on the right track is the spawning of some items that can be placed on the ground. So here in Koala Point, if he sees a mushroom right here, he does. That means he knows he's on the right RNG track.
Yeah, you want to see 2 mushrooms on the screen.
You didn't see the broken bridge, but it's up there, and they know.
And it'll be magically fixed later.
And since there is 100 possible prosperity points, obviously you don't get every single one, and there's actually a Digimon kind of on the way that you could technically fight, but not right now, or you would get pretty destroyed since it's a ultimate level Digimon.
And so you're gonna see me step left here. This maze is weird that if you like step left at the beginning, you're gonna get the center path. You can use the center path to go through. Otherwise, it does the right path, and if you go towards the right path, you're gonna get hit along the way.
So the placement of the O and the X's aren't actually dictated by the RNG table that I explained earlier. It's dictated by the movement on the first line of pixels where you enter into a metaforest. What the game tries to do is place the correct path the opposite way that you're trying to go. So as you move left, it'll kind of manipulate with weight to have the O on the right side.
So yeah, from now on, I don't actually know what's gonna happen RNG-wise. That was pretty much all the stuff I needed to set up.
The last things RNG set up were the placements of the autopilot right before the O. Autopilots are used to get back to the town, so you don't have to waste all that time walking. Well, when the Digimon feels like eating it, that is.
So as you see Azure go through this run, you might not pick up on it as you're just watching this casually, but what he's trying to do is also do optimal movement in these areas to avoid encounters of other wild Digimon. Once he hits the Digimon, not only is that a loss of real time as he's doing the speed run, but it also advances the game time as well. So he wants to make sure when he's setting up his timing later on in the runs, he wants to make sure that he definitely does not get encounters or he'll be in big trouble.
Yeah, all the Digimon are pretty set patterns that it's easy to avoid once you know what they're gonna do. And there's that magically fixed bridge.
Yeah.
Should also know I'm going back for Quellamon now because he runs the shop in the town. He's actually pretty important. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to buy autopilots when I go back. And those are pretty much the fastest thing in the game. Allow you to go back to the city.
Yeah, a lot of the guys we do pick up, we don't really talk to in the course of the run, but this guy and another one or two we pick up later are really important. But we can talk about them when we actually get to them.
Okay, first try.
Try autopilot.
Yeah, there's a good chance that he actually rejects that autopilot, so you have to discipline him so he actually takes it later. Or again.
In its own way, one of the requirements to get, are we actually going for Greymon? Or,
Yeah.
Alright, yeah, one of the requirements to actually get Greymon is the having a higher discipline, which you do get when you scold your Digimon.
And speaking of that donation incentive, we got a $340 donation from the Digimon speedrunning community. Nice. Good luck to all the runners at SGDQ. This event's been tons of fun. This donation is from the Digimon speedrunning community for the incentive of Greymon during the Digimon World run, which, as mentioned, was met. Good luck to the runner, AzureFlame4.
Shoutouts to our boys and girls over at the speedrunning Digimon community.
So here we have one of the most annoying parts of the run, but it's pretty necessary for a lot of the Digimon later on. Right here I have to go fight Dramogamon to set up for getting Merimon later, but we have to wait 4 days after I fight Dramogamon. But that's perfect time for training for Greymon. And you're going to see me go ahead and rearrange my items again. I'm putting the meat at the top because I have to feed Agumon a lot while I train him. And I'm putting the autopilots up here because it's easy to access them again. And from here on, it's just item management during the fights.
One thing that you kind of hope for as you're doing these battles is a good balance of blocking and also your Digimon attacking to confer the extra point for the finisher. You want to get the finisher as pretty much as fast as you can. And as the Digimon, or as your enemy Digimon blocks, it'll have a higher chance of you getting one of those points toward your finisher.
I might even have to use it in this fight, depending on this next attack.
If it attacks.
We're good.
Nice.
No finisher.
No MP chip, MP floppy either.
And so this remote one doesn't actually do anything for you. You have to go talk to another one. They can only talk to after fighting that one, for whatever reason.
Some events in this game are time-based. That's why they actually went through the trouble of making the clock and everything, other than night day. So for this one, it takes 4 days for it to actually come along.
So this guy will tell you to move like this pile of dirt for him, but you can do that and it will unlock Marimont's Cave, or you can not do that and wait 4 days and it will be unlocked anyway. So we're gonna just wait 4 days and train.
And while we have a free moment, I got a $20 donation from Sparsy here.
Oh, Sparsy.
Good luck to my homeboy Azure on the run. Friendly reminder that Vmon is still the worst Digimon.
Sparsy.
He found most of the strats in this game. He's really the one that's been pushing this game. You're gonna see a lot of tricks later on that were found by him. Okay, so typically here I would just do offensive training until it was time to Digivolve, but since I'm doing Greymon, I do have to do some brain training. And so the feeding and poop cycles that you're going to see, it's pretty set, so I know exactly what's going to happen.
So typically, Agumon will want to be fed every 4 hours or so. So there's a specific pattern that Azure has memorized in order for him to get the champion form. And I believe he also knows when the poop or the double feeds are coming up and when poop cycles needs to happen, etc.
And luckily, Agumon likes to go fast too. He did the hand wash skip.
That's gross. Friendly reminder, you should always wash your hands.
We talked to Euromon, so we're good for that.
And so I'm resting here because if I didn't, Agumon would get tired, which would lead to carry mistakes later. KRs can go ahead and explain like all the stats and stuff for Digivolution.
Sure. So typically we would normally get Bergermon, and those require specific conditions and other requirements that you may need. What Azure's going for here is not Bergermon. Since you guys donated $1,000, we'll be going for Greymon, which is the typical Digivolution for Agumon. And so these require specific stats and other conditions. One of the conditions that needs to be met is a set of 100 stats across the board from offense, defense, speed, and brain. So Azure will be doing that. Another thing that you need to go for is a specific weight, which actually does not have to be met as long as you complete what is called a bonus condition, which in this case will be the care mistakes. As long as you have care mistake of 0 or 1, you will be allowed to have Greymon. You can get care mistakes in this game by having mistakes while taking care of it. So things such as not feeding your Digimon, not letting it sleep, or anything that...
And letting it poop on the ground.
Exactly.
I'm going to the toilet right now.
Exactly. So basically things PETA would not like. Shoutouts to PETA.
Yeah, I guess it's probably fine time to read some donations while we're doing this training.
Absolutely. All right, I've got $10 from Auntie Jalapa. Looking forward to the Digimon World run, despite the fact I'm still suffering from the effects of PDWSD, post-Digimon World stress disorder, from my childhood days.
Which is actually quite normal. A lot of people who play this game normally, when they're trying to go for a good Digimon like Greymon, Bergermon, they will normally get a Numemon instead. And as I've been playing this game casually for many years now, I still always get Numemon. I can only beat this game in a speedrunning fashion. It's a really difficult game.
Yeah, all the hidden conditions, a regular person has almost no idea unless they look at like some sort of strategy guide or something. No, I think my friend had one when I was a kid. I had no idea what I was doing though.
I've also got a $10 anonymous donation. Save the animals! And from one Digimon fan to another, Digimon World hype!
Hype.
And also a $50 donation from DCVR. Hyped to see the Digimon World run. Not ashamed to admit that Digimon World 1 and 2 are my favorite games from my childhood. Donation goes to killing the animals. Saving them has already cost us a world record run.
We're gonna save them in this run anyway.
All the Digimons.
Also have $100 from Doge-kun. Hey guys, disappointed to see such an empty room for such an amazing game. Hopefully this run will bring more people to this game. Money goes to Runner's Choice.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. I haven't slept in like 20 years.
All up for this run.
Also have $20 from Goggle Candy. Great to see a Digimon run. This game destroyed me as a kid, so seeing it now be destroyed brings a smile to my face. Good luck, Azure.
So all the things that Azure's doing right now, typically I don't see because we usually get the Bergermon, which is faster. So I'm not sure if Azure's on the right pace. So if he gets the Greymon, I'll be really happy. And people should clap if he gets the Greymon, because we'll all
Don't
be
worry,
really
I got
happy.
it.
All right.
He got it. No worries.
All right, while we have another second, we have $50 from Amlet543. Great to have some Digimon hype, especially with the new anime coming up. Let this donation go to Runner's Choice.
I keep on forgetting that one's coming out. Excited for it, but
Also,
So what you're about to see me do looks like a big time waste, but it's one of the bonus requirements to get Greymon. And so instead of getting Greymon at 30 pounds, we can just raise his discipline to 90% by scolding him a lot.
seems mean, but it's necessary. And this is basically one of the main reasons why getting Greymon is slower.
Yeah, you can see his bar at it's the bottom bar, and once it hits like around 90% is when I'll stop scolding him.
Man, I know PETA is forming a line right outside this room.
Oh man,
Did you just
was not
rage?
supposed to do that.
There you go.
Don't worry, PETA's gonna be even madder soon, so.
Poor Digimon.
The troubles of Digimon raising, as evidenced by this $20 anonymous donation here. Been watching the past few years, first time donator as I now earn money. Getting so much nostalgia from this Digimon World run. Hearing Agumon Poo reminds me of my childhood. I would always get Numemon when I played. Good luck to the rest of the speedrunners for the rest of the SGDQ.
Now we're in the home stretch.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty freaking nervous. Is this it, Azure?
It better be.
Rip $1,000 if it's not.
Don't worry, I have a file. So yeah, this is Digivolution. No cool themes music, go with it.
And Agumon looks super happy to Digivolve too.
We got Greymon. So now we just train him. We don't have to even bother taking care of him anymore. He's hungry. We just gotta kind of let that happen.
He can walk off his hunger.
He's really strong now. He's okay.
So shout outs to Azure for actually finding all the, I guess, a strategy to get Greymon, because I know that was not easy. So we actually have different ways of manipulating the RNG later on, but all of that is set with Bergermon. So what he has to do is basically find a strategy to get Greymon consistently and find other ways to also get Spinning Shot, which we'll explain later, consistently with Greymon. We also thought about doing RNG manipulation for another spawn later on, but we decided that's probably a little bit too risky, but still shout outs to Azure for putting in so much work just to make sure this incentive could go out without a hitch.
So at this point, we're just passing time for the Marimon cave to open up. This training isn't completely necessary, even though it is helpful. Though actually the speed training I'm about to do is necessary for the RNG manipulation I'm going to do very soon.
The only thing we kind of do care about is having the Digimon go to sleep, or else he gets tired, and tired's usually not great.
And it's a great way to pass time.
Yeah.
And that's going to happen a lot.
Like one of the side effects of being tired is you see now he's only getting 1 speed instead of the 8 he was getting earlier. But we're good to go.
So at this point, I'm going to go fight Kunamon, which Kunamon's a big jerk. I'm sure anyone that's played this game knows. He has attacks that can give you a lot of status effects, like he flattened you and he stunned you. Hopefully we don't get either of those.
Being flattened is kind of hard to describe. You'd kind of have to see it to know its full glory.
I'm sure you'll see it at least once in the run. Probably at Juromon.
He was hungry, so obviously when you feed him, he has to fight you.
Okay, and so one of the other side effects of being tired is that if Greymon has any damage, he's going to get injured after this fight, so I have to keep him fully healed. And what is going on?
Block him every shot. Ah, there it goes.
So in previous iterations of the route, we had to fight Kunamon as Agumon, and that would end many, many, many attempts. Stuns, just low damage, and Kunamon could nearly just one-shot you many times. A plus Kunamon.
I give it an A-. There's a lot of blocks.
No stun, no problem.
No status effects is automatically a B+ at least.
Like that dark cloud looking thing, I think that one stuns, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm about to save up here and do RNG manipulation by resetting the console. Basically, every single time you reset the console, the RNG is set to 1, I would assume. And so basically, by doing certain inputs after that, you can control the RNG the way I did at the beginning of the run. And so by doing this, we're going to get one of the strongest moves in the game, which will help us go pretty fast.
And one of the most entertaining.
Yeah, it is pretty entertaining. You'll understand why. And so this is a good time to read donations.
Alrighty then, got a $10 anonymous donation here. Sup, Azure and K-Heart. Congrats on getting Digimon World to SGDQ. Good luck with the Greymon strats and P-Beam hype. Money goes to runner's choice.
So P-Beam was actually what we used to do with the run. It was completely like random if we got it or not. We had to get it from a Birdramon fight later on. And it killed mini runs 30 minutes into them, so it was not fun times.
All right, also got $20 from Steven NZT. I still remember the first time I was about to digivolve my Numemon, only to have it digivolve into a Sukamon.
Rip.
I don't think I've ever been more disappointed in my life. Good luck, Azure. Looking forward to seeing you destroy Analog Band. Put this donation towards runner's choice. Also, $20 from Hutch the Clutch. I couldn't not donate to my all-time favorite PlayStation game. You guys rock, but Digimon are the champions.
Okay, so I'll know pretty soon if I did the manipulation right. Whether it's Kaimon blocks or not, that's how I know. And I did it right.
GG.
So now we're going to have Spinning Shot, which will be make Greymon do a hilarious animation.
Tough.
It does kind of make more sense for almost a Bergermon to use it, but best move in the game. Most of the time.
And so from now on, it's just a lot of dodges up until the Bergermon fight. We also have to get Bachmon along the way.
So overall, fighting random battles in this game isn't that useful. Even if you want to like power up your Digimon, they barely give you any stats. The only real value is learning moves like spinning shot. And sometimes they drop items, but usually they're not that worth it. This is a cemetery we'll see like once in the entire run.
There's a small time saver there where you can activate Bachmon's text, but you can still run away for a little while. And for whatever reason, they decided not to let you know what Bachmon was actually saying.
But if you fail, you can just leave the screen and then go back and choose a different text, and you'll see what you get. Yeah, as we go through the digital world, it's a pretty diverse place. A lot of different what's the word?
So you just saw me cross an invisible bridge. You saw me talk to like the little furball in this town earlier, and that was to activate the bridge because he's like the rumor guy at the beginning of the game. He tells you about all the weird stuff in the digital world. So the fight I'm coming up to here is Bergermon. This is where we usually reset, like when we did Prominence Beam back in the day. Luckily, we don't have to do that anymore. But Bergermon is still pretty important because she'll fly you around the entire world. And so she's a really fast way to travel. She also can kill you pretty easily if you don't pay attention.
Or if Greymon feels
And I
like
just got a
running
bad
around.
fight. Typically, at least with Bergermon, you can tell if you've got a good fight based on what happens at the beginning. And Greymon walking around is not what you want to see.
So a side effect of using spinning shot is that Greymon decides to spin around. Just a spinning dinosaur shooting out
Spinning
these.
dinosaur.
Yeah, spinning shot's useful for a couple of reasons. It's a decently fast move. It's extremely powerful, and for multi-enemy fights, it's extremely useful.
No Prominence Beam.
Oh, reset.
Still, even if you get Prominence Beam, it helps in like 1 or 2 fights.
It probably says maybe 20 seconds if you get it. And that's you have to get lucky with it still.
Yep. Even the fights where you would use it, you could still lose time if the game just feels like making you lose time.
So now all that training I did earlier is going to be useful because Marimon's going to be open. And since I'm traveling for a while, this is a good time to read donations if you have any.
Absolutely. Once again, I'd like to thank Twitch, the biggest live video broadcasting platform and community for gamers, for allowing us to stream this event the entire week for Doctors Without Borders. And a reminder, all of our subscription revenue goes straight to the charity. Also, Biomon and Speedrun would like to interject with a $10 donation. Good luck on the runs, Azure. We hope nothing terrible happens on this run.
That's so troll.
We'll be watching.
Yeah, Digimon and Speedrun are the biggest trolls in this run, so you'll understand why pretty soon, most likely.
Also got a $50 donation from Cujo. Thank you guys for this amazing event, and great to see the Digimon Speedrun community contributing to this amazing event. Thank you. And thank you, Cujo.
So yeah, this is the Dromogmon from earlier. Somehow he moved all that dirt without you.
It's pretty amazing. Yeah, as we said earlier, moving the dirt's just a little mini game. Basically, gotta do it like 10 times, and
Yeah.
it's just a waste.
It gives you some stats and money, but we don't really need those in this run.
Yeah, any stats we need, we either get it through that training, or we'll get it through these chips that we're gonna pick up just after this fight.
So Meramon is another potential troll because he also can flatten you. Usually he won't though.
Now that we said that, however,
Nope, he's just gonna miss.
so it kicks you in the shin.
So in a typical speedrunning setting, it's very possible to kill Meramon in 3 shots, but Azure just killed him in 4 shots, and it's still pretty good fight.
Yeah, as long as Meramon doesn't flatten you, it's a pretty good fight. And we learned Dynamite Kick.
Yeah, boy.
That was just the little kick move that he did against us.
You have the chance to learn a lot of random moves during this run. And it's wasted frames, so...
Yeah, it's a waste of time most of the time. Yeah, you can also get chips and stuff from those little computers.
Sparcy likes to call those washing machines. Shoutouts to washing machines.
Okay, so there's another Dromogmon I have to come talk to, and again, we're gonna have to wait to recruit him later. Again, this is gonna, like, you have to wait 3 days before you can recruit him after talking to him.
Soon is a relative term.
So again, we're gonna have to train after this, but the stats are actually pretty useful from this point on, because having a lot of speed really helps in fights, because it determines whether you can whether you block moves and like how fast you come out with your moves. And one of the benefits of the Greymon is that he has a high discipline, so he's not going to reject everything I give him.
But in the same time, we kind of want him to reject that first autopilot.
Yeah. Sometimes you want him to reject stuff, but sometimes you just want him to take it.
And while we have a free moment, I got a $10 donation from Not Grammador. Whatever you say. Really excited to see one of my favorite games as a child at SGDQ. This is my 3rd SGDQ, and I'm proud to support the Digimon hype and Doctors Without Borders.
So now our offense is pretty high, so we're going to sell one of the chips for items here.
The chips are basically one of the highest selling items in the game. Lets you buy basically everything you ever would need. Shopping's important.
And you saw me take 10 of those smaller covers away. We're going to need the 1,000 to fly later to go back to the canyon to fight Ogremon. But first we have to train.
Specifically, this set of training is, as Azure said before, it gives you good stats, but it's mostly used as, or later on when you do your training, used as a timing mechanism for Factorial Town.
And this will be the last time we have to train in the game. Well, waste a day training at least.
Yeah, technically there is some training over in like Trash Mountain.
That training is pretty interesting.
Yes, it is.
Gonna let him poop real quick.
This poop is so weird.
And it looks the same as in that they used in the cartoon.
Yeah, surprisingly, this game actually came out before the cartoon.
And while we have a moment, I'd like to give a shout out to Power Up Audio, an indie sound studio from Vancouver, Canada, worked on such games like Crypt of the Necrodancer and Viking Squad, for donating their time 24/7 to make the sound setups here at SGDQ as pristine as can possibly be. Also have a $10 donation from V-Shadow. Shout out to K-Hearts and Azure. I'm entering Speedrun through Digimon World games, so really excited to see this run on SGDQ. What's next? Digimon Rumble Arena is 10 minutes. Gonna put this donation for Pokemon Blue Blindfold. Oh wait, that's not Digimon.
Dang. Rip.
We don't say the P word here.
Yeah, we don't. So this is where the run begins to pick up. So that was pretty much the end of a lot of training. So he'll start to do a lot of encounters where he'll just start picking up and farming prosperity points.
Yeah, pretty much the first 30 minutes of the game is just setting up for everything else.
Oh my god, Ash. Oh. He does his dodges differently from me, so I'm just like freaking out.
Don't worry, it's easy every time.
So I want to sleep here for setting up timing for later, because there's a place we have to get a very specific timing for. And yeah, tie. And these are just wasted frames. We're not going to pick up these small recoveries, most likely.
So all we really care about is that, how's a quick chip, right?
HP chip.
HP. Some of them we use, some of them we just sell.
Didn't pull Sparsy there.
I remember that.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, we're good.
Always good.
So usually in that screen we would go down left, and that would bait the Vegemon to do a counterclockwise movement, but he didn't. So Azure basically had to bait him from behind.
Coming up is one of the more interesting skips in the game. I'll let K-Arts explain it.
So One of the more interesting things that this game put in here is, instead of like boss fights or whatever, are some of these mandatory fights that the user or player are expected or intended to fight. So what Azure is going to do right now is one of the setups for what is called the Agumon skip, and this strat is called the fridge setup. So what you do here is you might want to leave, just leave. When you enter the room, just hold up into the fridge and then come back down to a specific visual cue. Once you push yourself into the fridge, this will push the walking grid also a couple of pixels or so in that direction, and this will allow you to give yourself a small space where you can enter in between the second and third Agumon.
And that's one of the things Sparsy found.
If Azure were to mess up the Agumon skip, he would have to fight. You're not able to run away from that encounter.
Yeah.
And since Greymon's so large, it has issues getting through those two Agumon, so it starts all the way in the back of the screen.
Which is actually kind of good, because that means the other Agumon have to run up to you to attack.
There we go.
Pretty good.
One of those things the Agumon can do is that sometimes if they just feel like it, they can just run around forever, just not letting you attack them.
You do not want the Agumon to live too long, because they can cause trouble.
So you want a good balance of when you want Ogremon to start using some of his abilities, just as he just used Tremor. Once he begins his animation to attack you, any attack that you do will be non-interruptible by him. So you want to make sure that he does Tremor not too fast, but also not too slow in order for you to get a guaranteed hit off of him.
So this is the first time we're using a finisher, right?
Yeah.
So basically the finisher works is when you attack, get block, time goes by, you get letters of finish. And once you get the full finish, you are able to use the Digimon's special attack and deal a massive amount of damage. Or if you time it wrong, they'll just hit you out of it and you just wasted an attack.
Okay, so coming up is another one of the crazy skips that Sparsy found that should never have been found.
Should have never been found.
It's probably the hardest dodge in the game. And even after you do it, you can't actually like avoid the fight completely. You do have to go back and fight it, though you can't run away at that point.
At a certain point, when you run this game, this skip is almost mandatory for you to actually get a new PB.
So Azure's doing a specific set of movements, and once again, it's a similar idea to what he did with the Agumon skip.
Nope.
Nope. Rip. So what was supposed to happen is once he presses right and walks along the wall, again, that will push the walking grid, and it will allow you to get to that certain area where there's a small pixel window where if you walk through it just right, you can just go to the left side from our perspective of the Goborimon and go right past him.
He's not a very strong enemy, but if we can avoid a fight, we always try to avoid that fight.
And once you run away from, like if you do the dodge correctly, you can, it saves a lot of walking distance because it teleports you back to the other screen you have to go back to anyway.
And one of the things that I mentioned earlier is that if you get yourself into an encounter, this will advance the in-game time. So now that we've kind of messed up what we believe to be the correct factorial town, Azure will now need to compensate in order to get back on track for the correct factorial town for the Gardromons to leave.
And most of the time, we don't pick up anything those enemies dropped. I think that meat's just gonna rot there forever.
And so we actually did not want him to take the autopilot there because we need to feed these HP chips still.
now he decides not to eat the.
No, I'm not sure if this was explained earlier, but once you scold after your Digimon rejects an item, then he will be guaranteed to accept it the next time around.
And we have a $10 donation from Batose. When's the Digimon World 3 speedrun gonna show at SGDQK Hearts?
Never.
Just kidding. Glad to see you guys this year. Good luck.
So Shomon's another important Digimon in the city because he has a bulletin board which basically allows you to recruit another Digimon later that gives you 3 PP. Shomon alone only gives you 2 though.
And a bunch of these enemies are basically just reskins, but they're all called something different, obviously. But
That
You
just
don't
gave a
trust me,
heart attack.
K-Heart? You don't trust me?
And it's hard to right now. Oh my goodness. That's one of the trickier screens when you are not in correct time to get the Ice Devimon. Hyogomon can sometimes be very unpredictable. One of the ways that Azure was doing is if you hold up left, you should be able to dodge the Hyogomons, but if you get stuck in a wall, it kind of becomes a little bit sketchy.
Right now, we've got a $5 donation from Holy Niwa. Hey guys, Niwa here. Last comment came out as anonymous, so here's another $5 to remind you that the Digimon speedrunning community is watching. No P-beam, but hey, good luck with Seadramon. Fast catch, maybe?
Unfortunately, no fast catch.
Fast catch. Shoutouts to Holy. He is a great runner of Redigitize.
So this will be the 3rd time we meet Ogremon, but this time as a friend. Or Seadramon can be a jerk sometimes.
well, a powerful friend.
Yeah, very powerful friend. Which is why I'm going to take time to heal right now.
And
Okay, go ahead.
sorry. And while you heal, we got $12.35 from Kuro Tenshi. Can't stop myself from putting money towards Digimon in a good cause. I literally shred my copy to death. Hope to buy a new one soon. Good luck to the runners.
Okay, so Warrior Seadramon actually has an attack that if you aren't fully healed for the fight, you might like die in one hit because it can do about 1k damage.
Back in the day when we used to have Prominence Beam, this would become one of the more annoying fights. But with Spinning Shot, because it's an AoE attack, it becomes a lot more manageable.
Friendly fire it, can be useful, like when Greymon was knocked down, but Okamon decided to use his AoE attack anyway. It hit the other 2 enemies.
And here comes a Seadramon attack that can really damage you. Luckily, I was already hit, so it didn't actually hit me.
Yeah, when you're down on the ground, you can avoid most attacks, if not all. Most attacks only have 1 chance to hurt you. It's pretty rare for an attack to have 2.
Yeah, some moves have the chance to confuse you, like you just saw. So for there, we have to use a Various.
Come on, there we go.
Oh. So probably not a lot of people saw that, but right before Aurora Seadramon attacked, Azure decided to use a finisher, then quickly went back to attack. So if he would have continued on with his finisher, it would have been interrupted.
Would have been the worst thing in the world, but it would have definitely wasted time. And you just always feel bad if you get knocked out of finisher.
So it seems like Ogremon's finally gonna join you here. But he doesn't.
Run.
But the point of this fight was actually to recruit Waymon, so Waymon will take you to Factorio Town, which is a very important part of the run.
Yeah, we get a couple people over in Factorial Town that are decently high in their Digivolution levels.
I've got a $20 donation here from Draco Dan. Always love seeing some Digimon. Always love seeing this game get destroyed so quickly when completion eluded so many people in their childhoods, including me. Shout out to my boy K Hearts on the couch.
What's up, Draco?
So now we gotta fight ourselves real quick.
Got a $10 donation here from False Shepherd. Hey guys, loved this game as a kid, and it's great to see it at GDQ event. Had to donate during the run. Good luck, Azure.
Until that block, that was going pretty good.
It was actually a pretty good fight.
Yeah, that was.
So now, unfortunately, I'm going to be doing some safety strats and doing a shop here.
That was a great sound. So basically, we just got some extra medium recoveries since that heals basically at 1,500, which is how much health we got right now? Like 2,500?
About there.
And so this is where the timing becomes really tight for Factorio Town, at least. Here, there's a Digimon called Vaymon that has 3 triggers you have to do throughout the run. Right now, I'm going to do the first trigger, and based on how much time I have left, I might do the second trigger.
Alrighty, Dratis gives $50 and says, I spent a lot of time trying to 100% this game when it first came out. Still not sure I ever managed it. Thank you for speedrunning this, and good luck.
Yeah, so the different categories for this game, the 2 popular ones are 80% and 100 PP. Azure wants to eventually get to all medals run. I don't know, it's very interesting. It's pretty much what like the 100% parallel would be for this game.
A big part of it is that you basically have to get every single Digimon possible. Like, digivolve your Digimon into every single Digimon possible. So that obviously takes a long time, since it takes a while to digivolve to champion, ultimate, side digivolve. Yeah. There are some items, though, that allow you to digivolve, which is required for the 100 PP.
So yeah, based on my timing, I actually do have enough time to do the second part of the Vaymon triggers. Which is why Showmon's important.
Vedamon's actually one of the Digimon that I got a lot as a kid because I didn't realize that I could fight other Digimon to learn moves, so I would always train at the brain training to get some new moves. And that's basically the requirement for Vetamon to have an extremely high brain value. So every single time it would roll around to Ultimate, I'd get a Vetamon, and I'd always be disappointed.
And so here's another Digimon that doesn't really do anything for you, but it's an easy 2 PP to get. So by talking to Centaurimon at the clinic, that activated Unimon here. And by giving him a small recovery, he'll go and join the city. The reason I did it there is because when he does join the city, he gives you a bigger shop. It also moves a Digimon out, moves Betamon to where he makes a fountain outside, which makes you move a little slower through the city.
This timing is making me nervous.
It's good. As long as you're not on the red, you're good.
So we're closely paying attention to the clock on the top left. If you're very confused why it looks this way, this is based off of a 24-hour clock and not a 12-hour clock. Yeah, you're good. So what he's doing right now is doing a Factorial Town Rush. There's 2 Guardromons that block the entrance where you need to go to fight Gyaromon. So the Guardromons will only take their break, and their break is a very, very small time window, and they will only take their break at midnight and noon.
And there's no guard.
And this was all planned way beforehand. So as soon as Azure was doing his last set of training, and when he slept over at Ogremon 1, was when he began to prepare for this entrance.
Extremely useful guards there, too.
Yeah, the Guardromon in this city aren't very good. And so this is the reason I had to do safety strats, because this Digimon coming up can sometimes be a real jerk. He can flatten you a lot, which, if you're out of variouses, you're going to get destroyed without. And also, you're going to need some medium recoveries.
I feel like Gyaromon is just one of those wild Digimon, well, not really wild, but one of those Digimon that are overall just really overpowered. Delete Program, one of these moves, has a high chance of flattening you. He also has an ability called DG Dimension, which has the highest base damage of all the attacks in this game.
And we're flat.
That's why I bought the extra variouses.
Oh my goodness. This is so
Oh.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, so this is why Azure bought all the medium recoveries and prepared beforehand, because this guy can be your friend.
Luckily, when you're deflatting like that, you can't get hit.
Yeah, that was nice timing by Azure. It looks like his patterns are starting to get good now.
Nope.
Oh,
Okay,
base! 20, never
Okay,
mind.
20.
Never mind.
Sometimes this game can troll with the
Oh my
remaining
God.
HP.
This is so true. This is actually making me angry right now. Alright, we're good.
Nope.
We got the fade away.
So there actually is a small chance that based on where Jiromon dies, I won't be able to get the defense chip he drops. I think I should be able to get it here. Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, you're good.
There you go. Items drop where the enemies died, and there are places where the enemy can die, and the thing it drops is just not grabbable. there are a couple fights where it's possible for like the enemy to drop their item inside the hitbox of another enemy, and it's pretty annoying when that happens.
Andromon's another one of the crazy recruitments in this game. I'll let K-Arts explain since he kind of figured it out a little bit.
So it's still kind of vague as to why Andromon was really programmed this way. But many times in our route where we wanted to get Andromon, I wanted to reroute the game where I forgot really what I did. But pretty much what I figured out is that after you do this portion of the game, you have to visit the city before going to Andromon. You can't just go to this part, do other parts of the game without going to the city, and then go to him. For some reason, it will just like not allow you to do so. Also, we thought there was a part of the drill cave that you had to do in order to recruit Andromon. There were still a lot of question marks. Few weeks ago, though, it seemed like we figured out a little bit of the piece of the puzzle when another runner of this game, Blackwind4, had to do rerouting because of a donation incentive. And so he entered in Factorial Town from the backside through Mount Panorama, and amazingly, then Andromon was recruitable. So now we're kind of seeing if we can reroute in order for us to completely remove Drill Cave so we don't have to wait till day 6 and 9 to recruit Dromogamon. So we'll see how that turns out.
And you just saw me fight one of the hardest fights in the game.
Yep.
I think it's only really easy for Kitora. Shoutouts to Kitora, another speedrunner of the game. You didn't go for the YOLO dodge?
I didn't go for the YOLO dodge.
Azure, please. No, that dodge really only saves like a half second. It's only really worth it if you're trying to like beat the Germans in this game.
Yeah, for those who don't know, Blackwind4 and Sparsi held first and second place, and they're both from Germany. And Kitori, who holds third place right now, is from England, so.
Us Americans are far behind.
Yes.
At least we're above the Japanese, who still use Centauramon.
If you don't have enough discipline, you can get Centauramon instead of Greymon.
Here comes one of the trolliest parts of the game. As you heard earlier in a donation comment, Biomon was mentioned, and here's Biomon. Basically, you play a game of hide and seek, and you have a 1 in 3 chance of actually getting her. And we've gone up to like 20 tries with this. But the attempts usually take like 15 seconds, or like 10. So we'll see how many times it takes me. First try.
What the heck? I'm salt.
Obviously, this is what you want.
Yeah, it doesn't happen very often where someone gets a first try, so it's pretty nice.
I think earlier we got this, what, 3rd try or something?
Yeah.
Oh,
I got too
if you
close to
get
the
hit,
toilet.
I'm gonna leave.
I'm good.
Are you the? Oh my God! Heart attack. What the heck?
You always have plenty of time when you're next to the toilet to run away.
Always.
So before this run, I actually bet Azure $100 that he would actually run into a Digimon. So I'm still waiting.
Well, you gotta go Bury-Mon so far.
I won't count that one.
Yeah, that one's common enough that. And that's a Sukamon, as a lot of the some of the donators are talking about. That's what Digimon is from the Numamon that we defeated earlier.
There's also an entire amount of trash with something interesting you're about to see.
It's the best training game ever.
Somehow standing in poop gives you MP. Don't ask me how. So right now we're just training to get to 9 so we can get some other Digimon after this.
And it only gives MP. But it gives you a lot of MP, so that's good.
Yeah.
Got a $20 donation here from Hot Milo23. Long-time watcher, first-time live, and first-time donation. Good luck with Seadramon.
Fast catch, we're going for it.
I'm doing a safety save here because Kakatorimon that's coming up can be kind of crazy with Megalospark.
Gotta preserve our name.
Okay, so typically, if you're doing Birdramon, you would have RNG manipulation do Metal Mamimon back in Factorial Town, which in this game there are 3 random Digimon, Piximon, Metal Mamimon, and Mamimon. And so you can manipulate when they show up, doing the same thing we did for Spinning Shot earlier. The problem with Greymon, though, is for whatever reason, it's kind of difficult to actually get the manipulations with him. So unfortunately, I'm not able to do it here, but I'm going to instead do Gabumon and Kakatorimon, which will give us the 3 PP needed. And they only lose about 20 seconds or 30 seconds overall.
Dude, how are you not sweating over your dodges?
Because I know the dodges.
Please, that one was so close. So all this Misty Tree area is very foreign to a lot of people who just do the Birdramon route, because we literally just don't go to this area.
And hopefully later, Greymon will start like rejecting the autopilot so I can start feeding these chips.
Because it saves time to, if you already have the menu open, to just go ahead and feed the chips.
Yeah, feeding the autopilot first and having him reject it, and then scolding him, you'll be able to feed the chips automatically, so it saves time from going down to the chips and having them rejected. It's one of the small time savers, but it's really worth it.
So this weird mechanic with Misty Trees, as you enter and exit these rooms here, you might not necessarily get to the correct room that you want to, but it looks like Azure actually got it.
Yeah, I got the correct room.
Obviously, our enemy here is lost too, as it runs into the wall and continuously.
And there's a nice little Agumon statue there.
Instant.
And luckily we're going to shop after Kakatorimon, because we're running out of MP.
Oh my goodness. It looks like this one might require you to hit the finisher. Oh no, you're good.
I want to keep Greymon's health decently high for this fight.
It's looking like I'm going to have to use the finisher if I don't land at least one more attack.
Yeah.
Okay, we're good. And so there's a couple of reasons I need to go to the shop now. As you can see, I'm out of autopilots and MP floppies. But technically we can get away with not having MP floppies for a while now. But we do need to go back to the city so we can actually activate the triggers for Andromon.
There is a Digimon we can talk to get rid of all of this fog, but we don't do that on this run.
Greymon just refuses to reject anything.
Which is a side effect of having such a high discipline.
So I'm just going to have to feed these manually.
At least he's, well, I don't want to speak too soon. Well, at least he ate one of them without having to scold. Our item shop has gotten an upgrade after we got Beamon.
Alrighty, got a $30 donation here from Jackie. A huge thanks to all the runners for their awesome runs and for giving time to such a good cause. I have such vivid memories of Digimon World, my 7-year-old self could never figure out how to actually play the game. Shout out to Connor and Mom who are also watching SGDQ in Canada.
Yeah, this game really wasn't well made for children, even though it was basically a children's game.
It did encourage people to explore a lot.
'Cause that's all they could do.
Yeah. So now I'm going back for Andromon and Juremon, who I wasn't able to recruit earlier, but now I will be able to. There's actually a small chance I'll see Metal Mamemon here.
Oh, rip.
Unfortunately, even if I did find him here, it wouldn't save any time.
You gotta obviously talk to him twice there to recruit him. Just because.
He's one of the weird Digimon that doesn't run away when you actually recruit him.
He has some stuff to do. He'll get around to it later. Now that he is insane, he decides to join me.
And so now we're gonna go fight Ninjamon, which is just another easy 2 PP to get. He does have the potential to troll you though, because all of his moves can potentially confuse you.
Obviously, Ninjamon's a ninja.
And he confused me,
Confused.
so.
Very first attack. There you go. We're just doing a little bit of item rearrangement.
Okay. And we're getting close to one of my least favorite parts of the run. We got one more fight before it happens, though.
Awesome, we learned Magma Bomb. We in there.
But coming up is just another really quick battle for 1 PP.
Yeah, she's. Palmon's a part of the Digimon farm that we do nothing with. You can grab it. They actually grow meat for you to eat.
Well, it's time. So Digimon World has a fishing mechanic, and I'm gonna let like everyone else on the couch talk while I do the fishing.
So, contrary to popular game facts belief, you can actually use the old fishing rod that Azure picked up earlier instead of having to use the upgraded fishing rod. And there's 2 1-hour windows where you can actually fish out the Seadramon. So we're using the first one available to us in the actual day. So what Azure is trying to do right now is position himself with his character and also his fishing line in order to put the bait at a correct pixel where Seadramon will spend the most of his time at. So he'll go diagonally upright and then also turn right. And at that vertex where he turns, he'll spend most of his time.
So actually hooking Seadramon is very tricky because it's hard to tell like when it's too fast or not. It's not very precise, I guess.
In one of the donation comments, they mentioned something called the fast catch, which is the favorite trick of Sparsy. But basically, as the name entails, you catch Seadramon, and as fast as you can, you instantly basically pull him onto the land, and it either works or it fails horribly.
There's only like there's only a very specific position where you can actually do it at. So that's why we won't ever like really go for it. And it's also RNG as to whether it will work or not. So it's very unlikely you'll ever get it
But it's easy every time.
if you're Sparsy.
Who doesn't even get it every time? But
And so now it's just the slow part reeling him in and paying attention to the bar. Sometimes Seadramon can be a jerk and he'll just break your line without you even touching button.
thankfully, that's decently rare, but it always has a chance to happen.
So as this continues on, Seadramon gets less and less resistant, so it'll be progressively easier to reel him in.
Yeah, it'd be nice to remove him from the route, but unfortunately he gives you 6 PP once you go and get the Digimon he leads you to.
And if you did grab the upgraded rod, how much easier would this be?
Not at all. I've tested it.
It's not even easier.
All the upgraded rod lets you do is throw your line farther.
Awesome.
And so here we have like 2 Digimon that are just super easy to recruit. First being Kabuterimon.
Got a quick $30 donation here from Man of Melody. Love Digimon World, so glad to see it done here. Keep up the great work.
Okay, so now I only have 3 more Digimon I have to recruit before I can enter the final area. And 2 of them you already, well, 3 of them you've already seen, all 3 of them. We've been setting up for them the entire game.
Now you can see it's looking a lot more like a town instead of just random people on mats. And now we're back at Drill Tunnel.
Which, for whatever reason, Ogremon decides to go to. Which makes it the perfect time to get Dromogamon.
And obviously Ogremon set up a toll because he's just a thug.
So, due to you bringing them up the entire game, these two Agumon have like way less HP than usual. So this fight goes pretty fast.
But if they don't get knocked down, they can still cause a little bit of problem.
This Ogremon might die first.
That's awkward.
That usually never happens.
Hero Agumon.
Okay, they're in good positions. This is one of the places where the game can soft lock, sort of. You can get stuck in the Agumon since your character is about to move. But you can autopilot out, but you're going to lose the HP chip that Ogremon just dropped. And luckily, the Agumon are in good positions.
This time he actually does join the city. And after all of our work, we can finally come back here.
Finally get your Mogumon.
Dromogamon has just been one of those things, like, as we try to rearrange the prosperity points the quickest way we could get to 50, for just some reason, Dromogamon just seems to be very necessary in order for us to keep it when we're trying to get 50. Although, on paper, it sounds very, very unneeded when we need to wait until day 6 and then day 9 in order to get them. But it's very hard to just scrap Dromogamon out of the route.
I mean, even though it wastes a little time, the training is kind of useful.
And so now I'm about to go do the final Vademon part, and then we'll be ready to do the final area.
I've got a $50 donation here from Luke. This is my first year getting to watch this live. Thank you for the hours of entertainment at all hours of the night. It really helps with a newborn.
I could imagine.
Also had a couple of donors that could not help but be worried about the way you're treating Greymon over there, Azure. Got a $5 anonymous donation saying, "Save the animal, feed the Greymon." And a $10 anonymous donation saying, "God, I love this game in the past. Can't wait to see you guys win it big. And God knows it took me multiple tries to kill Greymon. You guys rock. Godspeed. By the way, take better care of your Greymon. I know this is a speed run, but it just hurts looking at the quality of his care."
Nah.
He understands.
Greymon knows that we need to beat all of the dudes on Infinity Mountain as fast as we can so we can save the city, right?
To be fair, my character's not eating either, so...
He's not even going to the bathroom.
And so coming up is another interesting skip. After we talk Digimon here, which is the old guy. Basically, after you leave this place, you're supposed to get a forced encounter. But by simply using an autopilot, we can completely skip the trigger for that. Which is why I have one extra autopilot. And so we get to avoid an entire boss fight here. I'm gonna go ahead and take this time to feed the quick chip.
And he ate it. That's a little part of the farm right there.
The parts of the town we haven't seen yet. Okay, so this is Mount Infinity. For people just learning this game, these are pretty much the hardest dodges. All the other Digimon in this game, they have set patterns. And once you know them, you can easily avoid all of them.
Most of the time.
There are 2 Digimon in here that gives you trouble. I just forgot to do my safety save. So there's a spot here where you can soft lock in this fight coming up. So basically, if Devimon dies on top of your character, things happen with the quick chip he drops, and basically the game just soft locks. It's sort of a rare occurrence, but it can easily happen.
Well, happens to some easier than others.
Yeah, Carrots apparently has never gotten it.
Just lucky.
So with this fight, having Devimon this far away is exactly what you want. Once the fight gets close to you, it's when it gets scary. And so we should be able to avoid the soft lock now, so we're good.
Those finishers do a lot of damage.
Yeah, for the most part in the run, you don't want to use finishers except for the Dromogmon at the beginning and these fights in Mount Infinity. Did not mean to pick that up.
Nice job.
Wasted frames.
Safety strat, right?
Right.
Whoa, you
Yep.
learned it,
Yeah.
my boy.
So that's one of the stranger dodges in the game. Basically, it gets stuck, and this is the hardest dodge in the game. You just gotta bait out this Rockmon. Okay, we got it.
Nice job. That's actually the hardest dodge in the game.
So basically, I'm confirmed to not have any encounters now. So now that's all that's left is 2 bosses.
And now I have a $10 donation from Victoria155. Only a Digimon World run could get me out of bed at 7 a.m. willingly. Great work, guys, for such a great cause.
So now you got to fight your future self. And for whatever reason, you're gonna win.
Because that's how Digivolution works.
Greymon's another or Metal Greymon's another Digimon that can cause a lot of status effects with his attacks. But if your Greymon gets into pattern, you can kind of stun lock him and make it so he never gets attacks off. Unfortunately, that's not happening right now.
A couple of key events in this fight that you really want to make sure that you get successfully is making sure that you're able to land your finisher and also interrupt his finisher. So you begin your attack animation as Metal Greymon's beginning his finishing animation, so you are able to cancel his.
And that same thing carries over to Machinedramon coming up.
Nice. So the fights in Mount Infinity are really stressful because you're literally opening up the menu, use the item, open up the menu, use an item, and it can just get really hectic if you are being dealt thousands of damage.
And so you probably noticed the protection I've had in my inventory the entire game. We've been saving it for Machinedramon, because he has a move called Thunder Justice, which pretty much will stun you like a majority of the time.
Oh, you did not get the poop skip, Azure.
And so the protection here really speeds up this fight, so you don't have to use more variuses.
Here's Anlogbon. Man.
It's also the greatest music in the game coming up. Okay, that's good. He didn't start off with Thunder Justice. I'm just gonna go ahead and keep Greymon fully healed at all times.
Yeah.
Oh man, it's really
Now he's
good.
starting to spam it.
That's not good. Nice.
I meant to do an MP there.
Oh.
Jeez, Thunder Justice.
And when this happens, you can't really get MP floppies out, so you're gonna lose some attacks. Now's a good chance though.
So Azure wants to make sure he's using a medium recovery in between each Thunder Justice. Two Thunder Justices in succession will
going
be
crazy.
KO.
Okay, interrupted that one. We're good.
Obviously, Thunder Justice does a lot of damage.
Nice.
Oh, good. Oh,
Very
yeah.
nice.
So
I didn't even notice Greymon, I just noticed the finisher. So that's kind of what you want to happen when he's doing his finisher,
what you don't want to happen to you.
which it did.
Time's coming up, by the way.
Yeah, time comes when Machinedramon hits 0.
So
And time. Just an extra recovery just because.
about 9999 bits.
So now we just get like cutscenes coming up.
It's a pretty good run. I want to give a personal congratulations to Azure. I've known this guy for a couple years now. This is like my American bro. We're trying to take down the Germans in this game. So it's really great that finally Digimon World can have a debut at GDQ. Previously, this game, or this run specifically, has not been marathon safe. but with the recent findings of the RNG manipulation has made the birth of the possibility of this game to be ran at GDQs. It's just a blessing to finally have the Digimon community make its great debut here at a GDQ. And I'm really, really proud of Azure for pulling off the first successful run at a GDQ.
Yeah,
so congratulations.
I just want to point out all the random Digimon we did not get, like just standing in the circle there.
So there's the Airdramon we skipped in the bottom right.
Leomon we never saw.
Never saw that Leomon. I don't even know where Leomon is.
And we got the credits glitch.
Alright.
That's Digimon World.
Yeah.
Cool. Give this guy a follow. He's twitch.tv/AzureFlame4. Really good runner. He's running a lot of Digimon games. Also want to give special shout outs to top 5 kids of Digimon World who run this game very frequently. Sparsy Black15, AzureFlame4, Qtora, and K Hearts.
And K Hearts.
And K Hearts, whoever that is. Scrub.
Don't know that guy.
All right, then. Thank you, Azure Flame and Company, for that very entertaining Digimon World run. This time, I'd also like to give a special shout out to Alienware, a leader in PC gaming hardware since 1996, for helping make this marathon possible. Alienware hardware is available online and in stores in over 23 countries globally. And a reminder, if you donate $50 at some point during this marathon, you get a chance to win an Alienware Area 51 gaming desktop PC. Also, a few more donations come in here. We got $55.55 from Dozaju. Take these many fives as a global high five to all of you guys for this fantastic event. Groovy. Also have $50 from Kuert. You get a frame, and you get a frame, and you get a frame. Kill the animals. Also have $50 from Jakib X3. Great stream, guys. Keep going. I'm always getting hand-me-down consoles for my boyfriend, but grabbing the chance to enter the draw. Also, as a new first aider, I think this is a great cause. Whoop, whoop. And we also got $5 from Binksy. Sorry I couldn't make it to SGDQ this year, but I'll always be glad to support. Thanks for participating in a great event for a great cause. Best of luck to the runners, and big thanks to the organizers. It means a lot. Alrighty, coming up next, we have Star Tropics on the NES by Zodastone.